At the beginning of this year, I decided that after having spent most of my life in prison, and after having been on this planet for 46 years, that I wanted to teach myself how to play an instrument. That was one of my goals for 2014. I wanted to learn how to play the keyboard. Here in Sing Sing, we have a music room. It's one of the few facilities in the state that actually has a music room. And in this music room, there's a keyboard, there's a few guitars, there's a bass, congas, there's drums, a violin, a saxophone. Nothing new, nothing fancy, but it's pretty well worn, but we take care of it, so everything works pretty good. So one day I make my way down to the music room, and there's one other guy in there, Robbie Pollock. He's part of the band. He's just a fantastic guitarist, musician. And he's playing the violin out of all things. He's practicing the violin, right? So we say what's up to each other. Hey, Robbie, what's up? Hey, Ivan, what's up? So I turn the keyboard on, right? I get this good posture thing going, right? Straighten the back out. Do a little deep breathing, you know, to help me relax. I set my fingers on the keys real nice and light. And I begin playing Beethoven's Fifth Symphony in the key of C perfectly. That did not happen. that did happen. What really happened was I started banging away at the keys like a madman, right? I'm hammering away at the keys. I saw this guy doing it on TV, this rock and roll guy, and he's banging away, and it sounded great. And I said, how hard could that be? I can do that. So I'm banging away at the keys, right? I'm sweating, my eyes are bulging, man. I look crazy, and it sounded horrible. It was so bad that Robbie had to put down the violin, right? And he says, Ivan, stop, please, stop. So I look up at him, and in my mind I say, did this guy not just hear me rocking here? I'm jamming here. What is wrong with this dude? I said, what's up? He goes, get off the keyboard for a second, please. So I get up, and he's sitting down, and he sets up a chair right across from his. And he begins to teach me an exercise that someone had taught him, which I now call sounding off. I've been hooked ever since. Now let's fast forward about 10 months. The administration here launches a pilot program called Music Ambia, wherein these world-class musicians come into Sing Sing and they teach selected members of the prison population how to play instruments, how to notate, how to read music, how to write music, how to sing. This stuff is incredible. I happen to be one of the fortunate ones to get selected to participate in the program. So one Saturday morning, we're in this little music room, right? There's 26 prisoners and 5 of these just top-notch, unbelievable musicians. And Daniel Levy, he introduces himself, he introduces the other musicians. He asks everyone to stand up. So we all stand up. And we begin doing sounding off. Now there's 31 people in this room making all this noise, right? You would think it would sound horrible. Everybody was blown away. After, everybody was talking, everybody's animated, everybody's hyped up, everybody's laughing and joking with each other as if we had been friends all our lives. Now, what does sounding off or making noise have to do with today's theme of building healthy communities, right? Well, I'm going to tell you. Healthy communities cannot exist without effective communication within the members of that community, right? And I believe that that lack of effective communication is responsible for most, if not all, of the social ills that affect our communities. And that's the beauty of sounding off. It will enhance and improve the way we communicate with one another. Now, we as people, we communicate in 4 general ways. There's 4 general ways that we communicate. We communicate through our reading, through our writing, through our speaking, and through our listening. We spend most of our lives improving the way we read, write, and speak. But how many of us in this room can honestly say that we've spent any time at all improving the way we listen? I mean, really trying to improve the way we listen. Now, communications experts have done all sorts of tests on how people communicate, and they estimate that only 10% of our communication is represented through the words we say. 30% of our communication is represented through the sounds, through the noises that we make. 60% of our communication is represented through our body language. Now think about that for a second. If we were to combine what we say with our body language, with the things that we say, through the sounds that we make, together both those things are 80% more effective at communicating what we actually want to say than just our words alone. That's pretty powerful. Now, as beautiful and as powerful and as moving as our words can be, sometimes they fall short. We've all been in situations where we were trying to communicate with someone, and for whatever reason, there was a disconnect. There was a void there. We couldn't bridge the void for whatever reason. We dug and we dug for the right words, and we couldn't find them. As a matter of fact, sometimes words got in the way. Now, I see sounding off being used in hospital wards. I see it being used in old folks' homes. I see it being used for gang intervention. I can see young kids, junior high school kids, even college kids, as part of the curriculum, being brought into these hospital wards, being brought into the old folks' homes, right? And being taught a new way to communicate. Now, I've been doing a lot of yapping about the sounding off, right? Would anybody be curious in seeing a demonstration? Yes. Really? Yes. Let's see if we can make that happen. Fellas? I'm going to stay in the circle. Yes, please. I need everybody facing each other. Yeah, in a circle. But I need the space open so the crowd can see my pretty face. All right, this is what we're going to do. I am going to start with making a noise or a sound. This is going to be the pulse. And these guys are going to do the same thing. You guys are going to do the same thing I do, right? But when I call your names, I'm going to call your names randomly. You're going to make a noise of your own. You're going to add your own spice, your own flavor. So this is the noise we're going to make, guys. Ready? Just watch me for a second. And if anybody wants to join, feel free, please. All right, this is what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3. Robbie, help me out. Talk to me. Kenyatta, talk to us, please. Santiago, talk to us. Rob, talk to us. Can I hear from somebody out there, please? Come on, don't be shy. Somebody else. Thank you, guys. I just want to say this, guys, that everyone in this room is part of a community, and all our voices count. We all have something to offer. Let's learn to respect ourselves, each other, and one another. And when we learn to communicate effectively, when we truly learn to communicate effectively, we can build healthier, more vibrant communities. And by doing so, we can save the world. Thank you, God bless, and make some noise.